Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We're going to discuss the parables and the hidden treasures. We're going to also pull and get an affirmation for today to heal our souls. Understanding the parables, such as in the parable of the hidden treasures. I think that hidden treasures are usually looked at as maybe a myth now. Some people don't look at the fact that you still can get treasures out of the earth, such as the jewels and um, the pearls. The oyster is hidden in a conspicuous place on an earthly level or physical level, but then there is the level of spirituality that tells us that we must go deep as someone that discovers this. There's a pearl down in the sea. So we have two different um, types of lifestyles to look at, spiritual and physical. And with that, we find the elements of water. We find that water is subconscious in some instances because it asks us to go beneath the surface and find what is deeper than what we have already discovered, which takes us into a mind of exploration. I bring all of this up to help us to understand that parables are information that you really have to go within to discover the meaning of. There could be some that already understand the parable when they receive it or when they read it, but the fact of the matter is that it's a consciousness to understand a parable because there's hidden messages in parables. I remember when someone said um, something about people having parabolic futures, and that means that there is parables or hidden mysteries to your future on your path to destiny. And so studying your life and what you are to do from within, it makes a world of difference than following the physical world. They both come together, but you may be on the path to discovering that you're going to school to be a lawyer right now, and all of a sudden, 2 months from now, that changes. It could be because you changed your mind, or the universe, God, spirit, however you see it, changed your mind. Everything was hidden. There was nets that were being broken in the parables, and it was because they had gotten a message or a word from the Spirit of God within Jesus, leading them to their harvest. Each and every disciple, I've said before, was connected to a business. And a lot of times people look over the fishermen's business, but they're looking over it, yet these are things that we're eating. We eat from the sea. So it's a physical reception or thing that they go out and catch the fish and they sell it. The other thing is being spiritually led, and it's not hard if we put our mind and focus on good and the fact that we're creating strategies to do what we need to do. Like the fishermen, they knew the time of harvest, they know when to harvest salmon, and those seasons are equated to earth, earth, wind, fire, and water, summer, spring, winter, and fall. The fishermen look at these things, so they were a great type of individuals for Jesus to add to soul saving. Now, what is soul saving really? Is it religious, or is it me going through maybe a negative situation or karmic history to change it and then see how I actually survived through that when I thought the worst was going to happen, but God always had my back. You see, I believe, and that's me, that God always has our back because God is one with us. We have choices and free will to choose how we are going to live our lives and produce or not produce, which is why I brought up the fishermen. The fish having the experience of fish, they were symbolic to prosperity. They would be able to give people information on prosperity. So even when you look at Jesus and he talks about the taxpayers and where you can go and find the fish with money in its mouth, we don't have to just look at that as the tax collector, although there is some energy for now that is wrapped up in it. Hey, Nye, the tax collector is that you're living on an earthly level in a legal type of position that you render unto Caesar as it is. But what about what you find in the mouth of the fish? Because the mouth of the fish could be a mouth of someone that is able to tell you parabolic moves, as I had spoke earlier. They may dream of something in the stock market. They may dream of different animals. They may dream, and a lot of people get kind of flighty when you talk about dreaming. Hola, and they may dream, and so sometimes you keep your dreams to yourself. But the money that's in the mouth of the fish is an indication of where you can find your money. So, what you want to add to today, if you get anything out of this, is where are you strategically setting a standard to find your money? That means what consistently do you do every day to get your day started to go out and find your money? The other thing in here, in the strategic part of him sending those disciples to the fish, to find the money in there. There was an owing, but the thing about it again is the fish is a connotation of prosperity, which means that prosperity could be within you. If you get up strategically every day and you believe in yourself, and God has given you a destiny that calls forth blessings or products, self-help, type of information, things that can bless the mind and the soul and the economic level of people, then you have another way of dealing with prosperity. Because whatever you do, you want to be able to reach out to the masses and bless them with your prosperity or the money that comes out of the mouth of the fish. Now, that's another way. Community. You look at giving to the community, because all of this being spiritual, and then you take it over into physical, then you want to give to your communities because so many people are hurting. And in that being said, you have different ways that you can set up the fish aspect, getting the finances out of the mouth of the fish, but knowing that when you eat fish, you're eating some fisherman's prosperity. That means that he has sold his commodity to someone. That means that if you followed what he was doing, as Jesus has brought these people into our view to see what they do, then that means that you're able to see that you can take money from that fish, that product, that business, whatever it is that you sell, and bless other communities, bless yourself, bless your families. It goes on, but also that, yes, Caesar is supposed to get his part now. We have some wonderful things happening because there is a change in the energies. There is the nodes, and really Scorpio has a lot to do, or energy has a lot to do with going deep into the subconscious and finding things that you've never known before, whether it's good or bad. It's time to turn it all around for your good, not in a negative way, but spiritually. The hidden factors and treasures, even if it looked bad, that means that it can be good because you can transform it through Scorpio's energy. And if you get in on my classes, then you'll learn more about how to transform using the different energies, because that's what we are made of. We are also in the North Node coming up of Taurus, and that's going to be in January. And that means that there's going to be a big focus for people on their money. It doesn't mean that they should spend haphazardly. It means that they might be really listening to what I said from the beginning. Where do you find your money at? How are you creating your money? Because number one, money is who we are. We're energetic beings. That means that we go somewhere every day? How do you value yourself? And we present ourselves as energy to make money for us. It's not hard, especially when you're in the right place, right? And you're doing the right thing. You're presenting the right model of who you are, that destined model of who you are. So what happens in that case is that as you present, people see that they need what you have. And that is how you locate that hidden treasure that is in the mouth of the fish, because you are actually the fish. The money is inside of you. And that is the truth of the matter. All of whatever you need is inside of you. When you sit down and take yourself out of the world, as many of us say, we begin to practice, the closed eyes and breathing and letting go of old stuff. And then we find that there's a newer me in you to come. And that newer me in you, we begin to express newer things as well. It is an experiment of life. It's exploring. So people that are not into risk taking, they wouldn't even feel what I'm saying right now. You have to take risk in order to bring prosperity into your life. That means that you might risk changing how you look, how you walk, how you talk. You might take a risk, but it's going to be something that you're destined to do. You're going to take a risk on how you actually do business, how you present yourself in relationships, because you may need to glow up, as many people are saying. So here we are, affirmation for the day. And God bless everyone. It says miracles. I like that. So many people need miracles. And we do have some turkeys and donations still left. Turkey donations still left for those out there. I put a bid out to New Jersey, to DC area, to Virginia. Florida called me. I had people in Florida, in Detroit. We got donations for turkeys for everyone. And so today is the 22nd. We have tomorrow. Email me at ifwbuilders@gmail.com. And you could get a turkey. Just find out when you email me how it goes. You can subscribe and share my videos. So it says miracles. It's a miracle to be able to give, because many of us are so selfish. We're stuck on our own selves, right? And what we're doing. Here's Christmas coming up, and I have some of the people that I work with, and we're looking at how many kids we can help for Christmas across, the United States within our abilities financially. So you can get in on that. It says we tend to perceive miracles only when our personal desires are met. And yet, when we look back, almost all of us will be able to recall a crisis or a challenge that ultimately proved to be a miraculous turning point and extraordinary gift. So it can be a bad thing. It seems bad. It hurt. It breaks us. But that thing is actually a catalyst for the greatness within us to come forth. That's a miracle. When you can transform, and I talked about transform a little earlier in the video, because in order for you to actually look at what Jesus is saying about a fish is a miracle, for you to say that the miracle is inside of you, or he always led people within themselves to find what they needed. It is not outside of us. All right. So the miracle of an extraordinary gift might be us in our eyesight open. And this card asks you to see the miracles that surround you right now in every situation. What kind of miracle you had is not to be in a position or mindset where we allow, the past hurt and pains to keep us bound, or that, I would say, I'll never get over this. Never is not a part of God's will. God is all possible, all possibilities. So you guys be blessed, and you take the miracles of the day, but really look at them, the miracles, in a different way. Look at things different. Our perception is what kind of like gets us into a place where we don't understand what we see, and we can reject the fish and the prosperity that's in his mouth, even that fish being ourselves. So be blessed and have a wonderful, wonderful day, and happy Thanksgiving.